My dad doesn't know this. But I heard him tell another man he wished his kid were his son, instead of me. So I gave him exactly what he asked for. And now I treat him like a stranger. I was 14 when I heard the words. That changed everything between my dad and me. We were at my brother Noah's baseball tournament. Noah was 16, the star pitcher, the golden boy who could do no wrong. I played soccer, but my dad never showed up to my games. There was always an excuse. Work ran late, the car broke down, a headache, something. But for Noah, he never missed a single game. Not once. That day, I left my phone in Dad's truck, so I went back to get it during the 7th inning. That's when I heard him talking to another father in the parking lot. The man was complaining about his own son, saying the kid had no drive, no passion, no energy. My dad laughed, then said something that hit me like a punch to the chest. He said, "You should trade him for mine." Not Noah, obviously. The other one, Ethan. So forgettable you probably wouldn't even notice the difference. They both laughed, and then Dad added, "Sometimes I watch Noah out there and think, what if I had two like him instead of one useless one? That would have been the dream." I stood there behind the truck frozen, my phone in my hand, my own father calling me useless, forgettable, saying he could replace me and wouldn't even care. I waited until they left. Then I got inside the truck and just sat there in silence. When Dad came back after the game, Noah was in the passenger seat, like always, talking about his strikeouts. Dad asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. That was the last real conversation we ever had. From that day on, I gave him exactly what he wanted, a son he wouldn't notice. I stopped asking him to come to my games, stopped telling him about school, my friends, or anything that mattered to me. When he asked how my day was, I said fine. When he tried to start a conversation, I answered with one word and left the room. At first, he didn't notice. He was too busy living through Noah's victories. But a few months later, something shifted. He started knocking on my door at night, asking if I wanted to shoot hoops in the driveway. I told him I had homework. He'd ask if I wanted to grab burgers after practice. I said I wasn't hungry. He tried to ask about soccer season. I tell him it was fine and walk away. Noah caught on before Dad did. One evening, he pulled me aside and asked why I was acting weird with him and Dad. I told him I wasn't acting weird. I was just giving Dad what he clearly wanted. One less son to worry about. He didn't understand, but he didn't push it either. By the time I turned 16, Dad was trying harder. He started showing up at my games unannounced, standing quietly on the sidelines, waving when I looked his way. But when I saw him there, I felt nothing. Not anger, not pride, not even relief, just emptiness. After the games, he'd come up to me try and make small talk. I'd thank him politely, like you'd thank a neighbor for showing up to help move a box. No warmth, no connection. He was trying to have a relationship with a wall. The breaking point came last month at Noah's graduation party. Dad stood up to give a toast. He talked about how proud he was of his family, of both his sons. He looked straight at me and said, "Ethan, I know I haven't always been there for you the way I should have been. I want you to know I'm proud of the man you're becoming." I stared at him, my face completely blank, and said a "Thank you, sir." The room went quiet. He froze. Mom stared at me. Noah's smile faded. I didn't care. After the party, Dad cornered me in the kitchen. He said we needed to talk, that something was wrong between us. He missed his son. I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "I don't know what you mean. I've always been here." He shook his head. "No, you haven't. You've been somewhere else for years. And I don't know why." I almost told him. I almost threw those words from the parking lot right back in his face. But then I realized something he didn't deserve to know. He got exactly what he wanted. A son so forgettable. He could live under the same roof and never notice him. So I said, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and walked out. Now he slips notes under my door. He sends me texts asking if I want to hang out, if I'd go to a game with him. I always answer politely, "Maybe next time." There's never a next time. Noah tells me Dad's been crying lately, says he doesn't understand what he did wrong. And that's the point. He never will because I'll never tell him. There are words you can't unhear. And once they're said, they rot in your chest forever. He wished for another son. Now he has one, just not the one he expected. Stranger living in his house. Exactly what he wanted. 4 years have passed since that day in the parking lot. 4 years since I heard my dad say he wished he could trade me for another son. For years treating him like what he made me, someone who doesn't exist. Now, a week before I leave for college, the tension in our house feels unbearable. Mom was the first to notice. That morning we were sitting at the breakfast table. Dad at the head, Mom to his right, Noah across from me. The same setup as always. The same heavy silence that had become our family's normal. "Ethan," Mom said, setting down her coffee cup, "your father and I were talking. We'd like to throw you a going-away party before you leave." I didn't look up from my plate. "That's not necessary." "Of course it is." Dad jumped in. His voice too cheerful, too forced. "It's not every day a son goes off to college. We want to make it special." I looked up for the first time that morning. "Thanks for the thought, sir. But I'd rather keep it low-key." His jaw tightened. I knew he hated when I called him sir. He hated it because it reminded him of exactly what we were now. Nothing. "Come on, Ethan." Noah started, but I cut him off. "I still need to finish packing." "Excuse me." I stood up and went upstairs. As I left, I heard Mom's voice behind me. "What's going on with him? He's been like this for years. It's not normal." I didn't hear Dad's answer. I didn't care. In my room, I looked at that, half-filled boxes stacked against the wall. 18 years of my life reduced to 4 cardboard boxes, clothes, books, a few keepsakes. No family photos. I'd taken those down years ago. My phone buzzed. Text from Noah. "Need to talk now." 2 minutes later, he walked into my room. Without knocking. Closed the door. I said he could, then sat on my bed. His expression was the same mix of confusion, frustration, and sadness I'd seen too many times before. "Dad's falling apart," he said bluntly. "Mom thinks he's depressed. He cries almost every night." I shrugged. "I'm sorry for him." "No, you're not. That's the problem." I turned to face him. "What do you want me to say, Noah? I want you to tell me what really happened. You've treated Dad like a stranger for 4 years. As if he did something unforgivable, and no one knows why." "I already told you years ago," I said quietly. "I'm just giving him what he wanted, one less son to worry about." "That doesn't mean anything." I said, frustrated. "Dad loves you. He always talks about how proud he is of you, how smart you are." "Now he does," I interrupted. "Where was that pride when I was 14? Noah went silent. "What happened when you were 14? I didn't answer. I turned back to my boxes and kept packing. "I'm your brother," he said softly. "If something happened, I need to know." I stopped packing. My hands were shaking just a little. I took a breath. I told him everything. The parking lot. The truck. The words. Noah sat there for a long time. He didn't say anything. He just stared at the floor. Then he stood up and walked out. He didn't look at me. He didn't say anything. He just closed the door behind him. I kept packing. That night at dinner, the silence was different. Noah wouldn't look at Dad. He wouldn't look at me either. He just ate his food and left the table early. Dad noticed. He always noticed when Noah was upset. He asked Noah what was wrong. Noah said nothing. He went to his room and locked the door. Dad looked at me. He asked if I knew what was going on. I said I didn't know. I went to my room too. The next morning, I heard them arguing in the kitchen. Noah's voice was loud. He was yelling. I couldn't hear the words clearly, but I heard Dad's name. I heard the word liar. Then silence. Then the front door slammed. Noah was gone. Dad came upstairs. He knocked on my door. He didn't wait for an answer. He walked in. His face was pale. He looked like he hadn't slept. He looked like he'd been crying. He sat on my bed. right where Noah had sat the night before. He took a breath. He said Noah told him. He said Noah told him everything. He said he didn't remember saying those words. He said he was drunk. He said he was an idiot. He said he was trying to impress that other father. He said he didn't mean it. He said he was sorry. He kept saying he was sorry. Over and over. I just sat there. I looked at him. I didn't feel anything. Not anger. Not relief. Not even satisfaction. Just nothing. For years of nothing. He reached out his hand. He tried to touch my arm. I pulled away. He flinched. Like I'd hit him. He stood up. He said he understood. He said he deserved this. He said he'd never forgive himself. He walked to the door. He stopped. He didn't turn around. He said he loved me. He said he'd always loved me. Then he left. I sat there for a long time. Then I finished packing. The going away party never happened. Mom canceled it. She knew. Noah must have told her too. The house was quiet. Everyone walking around each other. No one talking. No one looking at each other. Just existing. In the same space. Like strangers. The day I left, Dad stood by the front door. He was holding a box. He said it was for me. I took it. It was heavy. He said I didn't have to open it now. He said I could open it whenever I wanted. Or never. He said it was up to me. I nodded. I got in my car. Noah was already in the passenger seat. He was driving me to college. We didn't talk. We just drove. 2 hours later, we were at my dorm. We carried my boxes up to my room. For boxes. 18 years. Noah helped me unpack. He didn't ask about Dad. He didn't ask about Mom. He just helped. When we were done, he stood by the door. He said he was sorry. He said he should have known. He said he should have paid attention. I told him it wasn't his fault. He hugged me. He said he'd call. He said he'd visit. Then he left. I sat on my bed. My new bed. In my new room. I looked at the box Dad gave me. I opened it. It was full of photos. Photos of me. Not family photos. Just me. Me as a baby. Me learning to walk. Me on my first day of school. Me at my soccer games. All the games he said he never came to. He was there. In every photo. Standing on the sidelines. Watching. There were notes too. Handwritten notes. On the backs of the photos. Ethan scored 2 goals today. He was amazing. Ethan made honor roll again. I'm so proud. Ethan's team won the championship. He played his heart out. The notes went back years. Every game. Every achievement. Every moment. He was there. He saw it all. He just never told me. At the bottom of the box, there was a letter. It was dated yesterday. Dear Ethan, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to read this. But I need you to know. I remember what I said that day. I remember every word. I've thought about it every single day. For 4 years. I was drunk. I was stupid. I was trying to impress a man I didn't even like. But that's not an excuse. There is no excuse for what I said. I never wanted to trade you. I never wanted another son. I wanted you. I always wanted you. You are my son. You are my son. You will always be my son. I know I failed you. I know I showed up for Noah and not for you. I know I made you feel second. I know I made you feel unwanted. And I hate myself for it. I went to your games. I stood in the back. I didn't want to distract you. I didn't want to make you nervous. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was wrong. I was so wrong. You're not forgettable. You're not useless. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. And I ruined it. I ruined everything. I don't expect you to come home. I don't expect you to call. I don't expect anything. But I want you to know that I love you. I've always loved you. I will always love you. No matter what. No matter where you are. No matter who you become. You're my son. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so sorry. Dad. I sat there for a long time. I read the letter again. Then again. Then I put everything back in the box. I closed it. I put it in my closet. I didn't cry. I didn't call him. I didn't do anything. I just started my new life. Classes started. I made friends. I joined a soccer team. I lived. Months passed. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. I didn't go home for Christmas. Noah came to visit me instead. He said Dad was doing better. He said Dad was going to therapy. He said Dad was trying to be better. I listened. I didn't say much. Spring semester came. Then summer. I got an internship in the city. I stayed there. I didn't go home. 2 years passed. I graduated. I got a job. I moved to a new city. I started my career. Noah got married. I went to the wedding. Dad was there. He looked older, thinner. His hair was grayer. He saw me. He smiled. A small smile. A careful smile. Like he was afraid I'd leave if he smiled too big. I nodded at him. That was all. Just a nod. He seemed happy with that. He didn't try to talk to me. He didn't try to hug me. He just smiled back. And that was enough. For now. Another year passed. I got a promotion. I moved into a bigger apartment. I was happy. Really happy. Then Noah called. Dad was in the hospital. Heart attack. He was stable. But Noah thought I should know. I booked a flight. I went home. The hospital room was quiet. Dad was sleeping. He looked so small. So fragile. I sat in the chair next to his bed. I watched him breathe. In and out. In and out. I thought about that day in the parking lot. I thought about the box in my closet. I thought about the letter I'd read 100 times. I thought about 4 years of silence. I thought about the photos, the notes, the games he never missed, the pride he never showed. He woke up. He saw me. He blinked. Like he couldn't believe it. Like he was dreaming. He said my name. Just my name. Ethan. I said I was here. He started to cry. Quiet tears. Rolling down his cheeks. He said he was sorry. Again. I said I knew. He asked if I'd read the letter. I said I had. He asked if I'd looked at the photos. I said I had. He asked if I hated him. I said I didn't know. He nodded. He said that was fair. He said he deserved that. He reached for my hand. I let him take it. His hand was warm. His grip was weak. But he held on. Like he was afraid to let go. We sat there for a long time. Just holding hands. Just breathing. Just being. Then he said something. He said he wished he could go back. He wished he could take back those words. He wished he could do it all over again. He said he would have been there. For every game. Every practice. Every moment. He said he would have told me he was proud. Every day. He said he would have been the father I deserved. I squeezed his hand. I said it was too late. He nodded. He said he knew. He said some things can't be fixed. Some words can't be taken back. Some damage can't be undone. He said he understood if I never forgave him. He said he would spend the rest of his life trying anyway. I looked at him. Really looked at him. This man who broke my heart. This man who wished I was someone else. This man who showed up to every game and never told me. This man who filled a box with photos and notes and apologies. This man who was dying in a hospital bed and still saying he was sorry. I didn't forgive him. Not then. Not completely. But I didn't hate him anymore. The anger was gone. The hurt was still there. But it was different now. Softer. Quieter. Like an old scar. Still visible. But not bleeding anymore. I stayed for a week. I helped Mom take care of him. I talked to Noah. I slept in my old room. The boxes were long gone. But the photos on my walls were still gone too. The day I left, Dad was sitting in his chair, in the living room. He was weak. But he was okay. He asked if I'd come back. I said I didn't know. He said that was okay. He said he'd wait. As long as it took. He said he loved me. I said I knew. I walked to the door. Then I stopped. I turned around. I said I'd call. He smiled. A real smile this time. Not a careful one. A real one. And that was enough. For now. I went back to my life. I called once a week. We talked about nothing. Weather.
Work. Sports.
Nothing important. But we talked. Noah said Dad was happier. He said Dad was doing better. He said Dad talked about me all the time. I listened.
I didn't say much.
Another year passed. Then another. I got a better job. I bought a house. I was happy. Really happy. Then Mom called. Dad was gone. Heart attack. In his sleep. Peaceful. She said. He went in his chair. The same chair where he'd told me he'd wait. She said he was holding something. A photo. Of me. I flew home again. The house was the same. Quiet. Full of memories. I went to his room. I found the box. The same box he'd given me 4 years ago. He'd kept it. There were new things inside. New photos. New notes. New letters. Letters he'd written but never sent. I read them all. Every word. Every apology. Every I love you. Every I'm proud of you. Every I'm sorry. I sat on his bed and cried. For the first time in 10 years. I cried for the father I could have had. I cried for the father I lost. I cried for the words that broke us. I cried for the silence that kept us apart. I cried for the years we wasted. I cried for the love that was always there, but never quite reached me. I cried until I couldn't cry anymore. Then I stood up. I took the box. I took it home with me. I put it in my closet, next to the first box. 2 boxes. 2 lives. 2 versions of the same story. The one where he broke my heart, and the one where he tried to fix it. I didn't forgive him completely. I don't think I ever will. Some wounds don't heal. Some words stay with you forever. But I made my peace with it. He was human. He was flawed. He made mistakes. Big ones. Unforgivable ones. But he tried. For 10 years. He tried. He showed up. He wrote letters. He kept photos. He waited. He loved me. In his own broken way. He loved me. And that's something. Not enough. But something. I live my life now. I'm happy. Really happy. I have a good job. Good friends. A good life.
Sometimes I think about him.
About that day in the parking lot. About the words that changed everything. About the 4 years of silence. About the 10 years of trying. About the box in my closet. About the photos. The notes. The letters. The love he never showed me, but always felt. I don't hate him anymore. I don't love him either. Not really. He's just a memory now. A complicated one. A painful one. But also a human one. He wished for another son. He got one. Just not the one he expected. He got a stranger. And then he spent 10 years trying to know him again. He never really succeeded. Not completely. But he tried. And that has to count for something. I close my eyes sometimes. And I imagine a different world. A world where he never said those words. A world where he showed up to my games and told me he was proud. A world where we had a normal father-son relationship. A world where I didn't spend 4 years treating him like a stranger. A world where we didn't waste 10 years trying to fix what was broken. But that's not my world. That's not my story. My story is this. A father who broke his son's heart. A son who became a stranger. 10 years of silence and trying. A deathbed confession. 2 boxes of photos and letters. A complicated legacy. A messy ending. No neat resolution. No perfect forgiveness. Just human beings. Doing their best. Failing.
Trying.
Loving. Hurting. Living.
Dying.
And leaving behind boxes full of words that were never said. Until it was too late. I open my closet sometimes. I look at the boxes. I don't open them. I don't need to. I know what's inside. I know what they mean. I know the story they tell. A story of love and loss. Of breaking and trying. Of words that can't be unheard. And apologies that came too late. I close the closet door. I walk away. I live my life. And that's enough.
For now.